You are not watching a recording. You are watching light, organized, disciplined, and absolute. Every photon your screen produces right now has been calibrated to a standard most displays will never reach. This is what your panel was built for. At this altitude, the atmosphere surrenders. There is no haze, no scatter, no compromise. What reaches your eyes and this screen is light in its most unfiltered state. The darkness beside it is not the absence of information. It is information. Your display is holding both, simultaneously, without flinching. (1,100°C), the point at which rock stops being solid and starts being something else entirely. No filter, no grade, no HDR curve applied to make this dramatic. This is the actual luminance of planetary fire, and your screen is one of the few surfaces on Earth capable of showing it honestly. Below the surface, color follows different rules. Red disappears first, absorbed within the first 10 meters, then orange, then yellow. What remains is a spectrum your eyes were never designed to witness at this depth. We carried the full range backup for you. Everything you were looking at exists within a space smaller than your hand. The architecture here took 400 million years to design. The humidity you cannot feel is carrying spores, pheromones, and fungal signals between organisms that have not evolved a single cell in common. Life does not wait to be discovered. It simply continues, at this scale, at this speed, whether observed or not. This ice is not white. Look at what your panel is rendering inside those shadows. Cobalt, cerulean, a blue that has no name in common language because no human ever stood inside a glacier long enough to need one. The air trapped in these crystals was atmosphere before Rome existed. You were looking at a sealed record of a sky that no longer is. She has not moved in 40 minutes. Not because she is resting. Because patience at this level is indistinguishable from stillness. The grass between her and the herd is 300 meters of calculation. Wind direction, sun angle, body posture. Every variable is being solved in real time, in a brain the size of a fist. For 11 minutes, the sun is low enough that its light travels 40 times further through atmosphere than it does at noon. Everything it touches is filtered. Violet gone, blue gone, green fading. What remains is the long end of the spectrum. Amber, copper, the color of things that are ending. 11 minutes. After that, the world is a different place. A lightning bolt is hotter than the surface of the sun. Not as bright, not as large, but hotter. 30,000 Kelvin for 70 microseconds. At 240 frames per second, that 70 microseconds becomes something you can study, something you can hold. Watch the channel. Watch it form before the light arrives. At this altitude, the atmosphere surrenders. There is no haze, no scatter, no compromise. What reaches your eyes and this screen is light in its most unfiltered state. The darkness beside it is not the absence of information. It is information. Your display is holding both, simultaneously, without flinching. "45 tons, moving through a medium 800 times denser than air, nearly silently. The ocean does not announce it. The water simply parts and closes again, as though nothing this large had ever passed through. The bee does not know the flower. The flower does not know the bee. And yet, over 65 million years, they have come to an arrangement so precise that the geometry of a single pollen grain matches the surface texture of a single leg hair on a single species and no other. What your panel is doing right now is holding two things simultaneously that most screens cannot reconcile. Absolute black. Not dark grey, not near black, absolute. And peak luminance bright enough to simulate direct sunlight. In the same frame, at the same time. This is not image processing. This is Dolby Vision doing exactly what it was designed to do. Every frame you have watched was captured without alteration. No compositing, no enhancement. The color you saw in the glacier was in the glacier. The luminance of the lava was the luminance of the lava. The darkness in the deep ocean was actual darkness. We did nothing to make this more than it was. It was already this.